What's up, everyone? It's Leah Love. Welcome back to another edition. I have a story that I want to share with you that is truly unfortunate and doesn't make me very happy to share, but I share it for a very good purpose. Last night, Bevelyn Beatty was stabbed. She is alive. She's doing well, but she raises many good points, and it really forces us to look at the reality of many of America's Black youths right now. And I have a lot to share, but first I'd like to get into the meat and potatoes of this, and then I will be back for more comments. Let's get into it.
I am in the hospital. I want to tell y'all what happened tonight because y'all are seeing a video and y'all are only seeing a portion of it. There's a whole humongous story. So tonight, we decided after Harry's to go, and we were headed towards meeting up with some friends at the plaza. And tonight, there was no plans of just fighting or nothing. You know, I don't fight, but like we were not looking for any type of opportunity to, any confrontation tonight. We literally were just walking together and talking. And, y'all, we seen the people who stabbed me were not just Black Lives Matter kids. They are Black Lives Matter kids, yes. But listen to me. These kids came out to do one thing and one thing only: destroy. Let me tell you something right now. When we were walking, we were actually sitting on a stool, and we were listening to Trump make an announcement about voter fraud, okay? We seen an old white man across the street in a suit, and he looked like he had just came from an election event. And as he was walking, okay, we seen 3 young Black kids walk up on him and start to taunt him. And basically, they were not physically attacking him, but they were verbally, they were about to attack him. Like literally, you guys, they were about to attack this man. So all of us see what's happening. We run over there to tell the kids to stop. Leave the boy alone. Leave the man alone.
Listen, what infuriates me, at least one of the reasons that I'm infuriated by this story, is the fact that, so many of America's Black youth, as we know, are already, brainwashed into this victimization and this extreme anger. And yet they haven't lived long enough to really know their history and experience the quote unquote white supremacy that they claim that they are actually experiencing. But what's worse is that, where are the parents? Well, that's a rhetorical question because the parents are the same as their children for all I know. And the bottom line is these children are out here committing crimes that they claim others are committing against them. And when we talk about the Black community being so deep into religion, it just infuriates me when I see Black children acting in such an evil manner. And then there will be an entire story and saga about how they do not have to be held accountable for what they're doing because simply they are Black's lives and it's Black Lives Matter.
The kids grab us, y'all, and start attacking us. They grab us and start hitting us. So now in the video, you see me trying to pull the girl off of my hair. She's grabbed my hair. These kids. And then one of the guys said, yeah, this is what I was looking for.
And unfortunately, when you are invested in evil, when you are invested in outright outrage and anger for so long, when it's building up intensely within you, you become a force for evilness. Whether it's demonic spirits, whether it's possession. I believe that whole BLM movement is definitely, into, various forms of witchcraft. They have the people, stunned into this state where they are easily overtaken by wickedness. What is this Black youth saying when he says, this is what I was looking for? So you mean to tell me, though you're claiming Black Lives Matter, you were out here looking for a Black person, a supposedly Black conservative who is helping a white older gentleman. you're saying that you were looking for an opportunity to harm or kill another Black person, but Black Lives Matter. And this is why I know it's an absolute demonic farce. It has nothing to do with Black lives. And unfortunately, Black American parents have allowed their children to be sucked into this demonic movement.
These kids came out to fight. They came out. Let me lift up. They came out looking for mischief tonight. Okay? And why am I telling y'all this right now? Because this is the problem. Black Lives Matter gives our people, our young kids in these inner cities, a reason to just attack. You know, all the time I hear y'all say, be careful, be careful. Y'all, this is like the one time I was actually being careful and actually just hanging with my friends and trying to figure out what was happening with the election. Okay? These kids came out strategically to fight, to attack. Okay? And they were looking for anything they can get their hands on. I think they were planning on robbing that man. These was not just regular Black Lives Matter kids. These was kids from the hood. You know what I'm saying? These are the kids that BLM protect. These are the kids that are dangerous and violent and don't care about nobody but themselves. Let me explain.
And I'm actually really glad she said that, because I'm getting to the point where I really feel that a vast swath of the Black American youths, particularly those within the quote unquote underclass that people don't like for me to say, but I really think that they are lost, because at the end of the day, they are living their lives in such a destructive and angry and violent manner. And they have been pushed to do so by BLM, because BLM is an arm of the Democratic Party. They've pretty much said as much, and we know that the Democratic Party has always used Black Americans to do their dirty work or to be their sheep that they just herd in and out of polls. But at the end of the day, this thing has escalated to such a point that I think we're at a point of no return for a lot of youth, save for Jesus Christ to come in and wash them and save them, meaning wash them with the Spirit, with the goodness. Because at this point, what are you going to do?
Something to y'all. Black Lives Matter protects these kids who are dangerous. The kids who stabbed me look just like me. The kids who stabbed me were probably blacker than me. Okay? They stabbed me in my back. One girl came and stabbed me in my back as I'm pulling another girl off of me. Okay? Why? Y'all know I'm non-violent. Okay? But I will defend myself. I will pull somebody off of me.
You know what's really sad is the fact that white liberals, white radical liberals, are egging the Black youth on. They are egging them on in their violence. They know that they themselves won't get caught, but that eventually it's going to be Black youth that fall into the trap. So we have these Antifa and these white liberals who are out here acting violently, but most of them are getting out of prison, and they are at a stage where, people are bailing them out and they just move on with their lives. But the very system that they claim to hate so much, the systemic racism in the justice system and within police departments, they are pushing Black children into the very hands of the people that they say are oppressing them. That is what the irony is. And because nobody has been informing these Black youth who've really been schooling them on what's really going on, they're thinking that all this attention that they're getting from white liberals and all this petting on their little heads, that, that everything's going to be okay, that white people have their back. No, they don't. White liberals are the most racist and the most conniving of most white people. So come on, this is ridiculous. But again, no Black parents are out here in terms of these children. There's no Black parents to really school them and get them hip to the game of what's really going on. And that's the saddest part.
They were stabbing me. They stabbed me in my back 3 times. Half of my lungs is collapsed. I have a tube in my side. Okay? And my liver is also hurt. That's what happened tonight. They stabbed 2 other people. Blood everywhere. They came out looking to hurt people. Okay? You want to know what they're called? Negroes. Niggas. And nobody wants to say nothing about it.
And no one will hold them accountable for their actions either, because they are the poor black children who are being hunted in the streets by cops. And the sad, sad state of affairs is that there will be a divide in this country. I don't know what's going to happen after this election. We already see that they are attempting to rig it right now in these Democrat states, but we know that it will be contested. But at the end of the day, what's getting ready to come down, particularly if Trump wins, is that black people are going to need to make a choice. You are going to either separate yourself from those who are pressed to push their demonic agenda and who want to stay on the bottom, who want to stay in the underclass, because that gives them the option of constantly complaining about being victims in 2020. Or you are going to have to draw a line in the sand and condemn the segments of the black community who refuse to do for themselves, who refuse to stand on their own 2 feet, and who reject this ideology that they cannot survive without white liberal help. There's going to have to be a line drawn in the sand, because eventually, when the hammer comes down, and these Antifa and all of these thug militia groups are put to rest, so we hope, and on these federal hate lists, the hate crime lists or hate groups lists, that the black youths who have been committing a lot of crimes, who are out shooting, who are just over the top over the summer in terms of the black on black crime in Chicago, they all are going to have a reckoning at one point. And eventually, we cannot continue to condone their part in this fiasco, and we cannot continue to make excuses for black people. Eventually, black people need to deal with the consequences of their own behaviors and what they do to one another in their own communities. They're going to have a day of reckoning. And if you want to be on the wrong side of history, keep playing and hanging out with these people who simply do not want to do what's right, who do not want to think what's right, who do not want to, elevate their culture. It's so degraded to the point where we're a laughing stock. And you're going to have to realize that it's no longer about quote unquote race pride or quote unquote race unity, because there was never unity in the black community, at least not after the 60s. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. So this whole, race identity, just in terms of, well, I have to stick with the black people. If they're doing wrong, they're doing wrong. If your black people are murdering each other and you want to stick with them and then claim that you're being so oppressed and whatnot, but constantly ignore what you yourselves are doing within your community, that's actually harming your community. That's bringing your economic status down. That is maintaining fatherless families. All of this is cyclical. All of this has something to do with the other. And the fact that black people, a lot of black people, I can't keep saying black people, that they do not want to recognize and acknowledge their own undoing within their own community, that's where the line is going to have to be drawn in the sand. Fortunately, there have been a lot more black people during this election cycle who have awakened and who realize that in most cases, in the most recent history, I'm not talking about the 1800s or the 1900s, I'm saying in the most recent history, black people have been more their own enemy than white people have. And you don't have to like it, but what you're going to have to do is either accept and stay on the side of people murdering each other all the time while constantly pretending that they do not have to take account for what they're doing to each other. And therefore, they cannot build their own communities, because you can't build a people that you're killing. It's like freaking genocide at this point. And you've got these murderous young children now out on the streets, like robbing thugs, and you're condoning this. I don't want to be a part of that type of community. I don't want to be a part of those type of black people. And y'all have already taken, and I'm already passed on my degenerate black card, because I'm not about that life anymore. And if you say you're Christian and you say you believe in God and righteousness and all of that, you definitely cannot be down for this. But the fact that most black people are down for this tells me the hypocrisy, tells me the fact that you're not going to make it. No community can continue to, kill each other, have a low standards and morals and low character and low values to the point where you commit murders and have your kids out in the street like roaming, murderous thugs, and you excuse it all. You say that, oh, they're justified. Whatever they do, whether it's to white people or to black people, y'all don't even care anymore. But you want people to support you, and you want people to, go out of their way to yell Black Lives Matter when it's been months now that black people are proving that it does not matter to you. And BLM organization has proven that y'all don't matter to anybody. It's just facts.
Black Lives Matter wants to address the police for regulating our cities. But guess what? There's the violence in our neighbors between our own people that have not been corrected. That have not been corrected. And these perpetrators, y'all, they need to be found. Y'all need to look up who these people are and find them. Because if it gets to a place where you can't walk in the city, mind you, the city was locked down. Police everywhere. And these kids still didn't care. They still didn't care. We was right by the police. They didn't care. Y'all, this has to change. This has to change. In all of my time, I've never experienced something like this. And simply by doing nothing. I was actually doing nothing, ladies and gents. I wasn't looking to confront nothing. I simply was just there with my friends waiting to hear what would happen with the elections. No, the police do care. Don't say the police don't care. The police do care. The problem is you guys talk about the police all day and night, but y'all never address the violence in our communities. Y'all scream up and down about what white man or white cop does to black people, but y'all will never address the violence in the black community because it was 3 young black kids from the hood who stabbed us tonight. That's the problem. When are y'all going to address them? Now, when they get shot by the cops, you want to make them martyrs. You want to put up RIPs for them. But they're the ones that are dangerous. They don't have no home training.
I'm telling you, black people, she said it well. They're ruthless. You have, excuse me, a huge swath of ruthless black children out in these streets, ready to kill, harm, or do whatever. And they have been pushed into this, and their parents approve of it. And what are you going to do at this point? I love that she said, that there's a point where you have to start taking accountability and addressing what's going on in your own community because you look dumb. You look real stupid and you're showing yourselves to be savages. And I'm tired of sugarcoating it. Y'all can get mad all you want, but you're showing yourselves as savages in these streets. And then when your kids have done wrong, you're going to be out in the streets talking about say my name. If they had come and stabbed the wrong person and the person died and the police caught them or whatever, and then they tried to stab at the police, which often happens. The other dude, what was it, in Pennsylvania, was coming at the cops with the gun after having beaten his mother numerous times. This was a criminal. And the fact that you associate yourself with criminality and then do all these RIPs and hashtags say his name and whatnot, and these are actual criminals. So what does that say about your community when you immortalize criminals and thugs? What does that say about you? But you want everybody to respect you. Absolutely not. It doesn't work like that in the real world. But the problem is a large amount of the black community that is supporting this nonsense don't actually live in the real world. They are living in the 4 walls of an illusion. And it's sad because you all will be the ones who are going to continuously get exterminated because of your behavior and your mentality and your refusal to join the elevating human family which is looking out for your own best interests in terms of elevating your people to prosperity and wealth and upholding the family unit. You're not even about that life. So yes, there are going to be consequences and it's going to come down and you won't have anyone to blame but yourself, even though you've already been trained to blame everybody but yourselves.
And they don't care. And they will do anything to you. Old, young, it doesn't matter to them. But yet Black Lives Matter will protect young kids like that. But call me a coon. But yet I'm the one who's, look at my hand. Blood. I thank God. I'm good. I'm going to be healed. But no. Yes, that's right. They're thugs. But BLM protects thugs. BLM will protect thugs. That's what they'll do to where you can't even walk down the street of Washington, D.C., your nation's capital, without young kids rolling up on you trying to hurt you. That's crazy. I just wanted to give clarity to tonight's video. I'm going to rest.